So thank you for coming on my podcast. I greatly appreciate it. I know you have your hands in the community, especially with these boys. Um, my first encounter came from, I don't know, I guess 2018, 17, one of them years, and this was my son's first time being involved in sports. No, it was the second time, but the first time he was like a little baby, so it really didn't count. But this is his first time being involved in like a big organized sports organization where he got to meet a bunch of different people and a bunch of different coaches. And this was also when I was at a real low point in my life. So for you guys to come in and y'all kind of like embraced my son and gave him a different aspect, being that his father was locked up. It was very, very important and it meant a lot to me. That's why when he started with City, you was a part of Rick City, Coach G was a part of Rick City, so it was just like I just wanted to keep my loyalty there because of the fact that that's where he was embraced, and I just wanted to teach my son loyalty at the utmost. But um, I know he love you to death, regardless of who team he play for. He
You know.
he gonna always respect you whenever he see you. You know, you like a godfather to him, or like an uncle or something to him, and even my baby son know you. So, um, regardless of what, you always gonna be a piece in there in his mind. Growing up when he tell his stories about football and what he did as a youth. So I know a little bit about you. So now it's time for you to tell the people who you are.
All right, let me say this first, Lex. For you to say during that period, that was the lowest time or lowest point of your life. You wrote that well.
I can't hear
Can't hear
you.
you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. We
Can't hear
can't
you.
hear
We
you.
can't hear you.
Hold on, y'all. We can't hear
We can't
you.
hear you.
We can't hear
We
you.
can't hear you.
Hold on. Hold on. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Lex, hold on.
Oh, okay. There we go. Whew.
Could you hear
Yeah, I was ready to start sweating. Jesus.
me? No, no. But look, let me say this. Yeah, man. Who am I? I'm Coach Tim, 31 years old, from Northside. Father of five. You know what I mean? Football coach, uncle. I feel like a leader, pillar of my community. And that's why I have spent, the last, let's say, 7 years turning my life around. Because me starting off in the north side of Richmond, kind of grew up faster than what I really wanted to. So let's say I was a big part or a help with destroying the community in some of the ways, people project us to be. But so I spent the last 7 years turning my life around and just trying to give back to the same community I feel like I have destroyed.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch on that empire. All right, so give us a little bit of in-depth information about how the past, your past that you went through, how did those things and those events affect and aid and you giving back to your community? Like, tell me, like, what was it about your past that really made you say, "All right, man, it's time for me to give back"?
Started with my kids, but my grandmother raised me. I had five sisters, a little brother. We all stayed in a 3 bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? So, like, I signed myself up for youth sports early, 9 years old. So, I always was that kid. You know what I mean? That always had to overcome the odds, or you know, not letting nothing stand in front of me. If I wanted, I had to go get it. You know what I mean? Because as far as mother, father, I really didn't have help in those areas. Not to say that they weren't around, but I had my trials and tribulations with my mother and my father. So, you know, it made me who I am today. So I don't try to down that situation, or I feel like that's why my relationship is with my father like it is today, because I didn't try to destroy him for not being there. Because if he was, I probably wouldn't be the man that I am today. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise.
So let's go into your, I'm gonna say teenage years, but your adult years and some of the things that where you say you felt like you took from the community. How did that affect you and your process, your mental, to be able to say, I don't want to do this no more. Like this not where I'm at, because it's a lot of people, not to hold them, but it's a lot of people um, who succumb to the environment and succumb to um, addiction or just fast money. You know what I'm saying? So what was it about and also, I mean, you're a father as well, but like I said, sometimes being a father, being a parent is not good enough for people to want to change and go a different route. So what about those things stained
Uh,
you in a way?
Let me say that I was a product of my environment, and I hated saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost saying at the same time, I was a follower, and to this day now, I always say I'm a leader by nature. So
Mm-hmm.
when I say being a product of my environment, it's almost like saying you was easily influenced. But it's like, a kid, you got friends, you know what I mean? And you live an everyday life and you see things. You know what I mean? So now you indulge in these things, and before you even know it, now you in too deep. You are literally in the streets, and you know the streets will swallow you whole if you're not ready for it. Let me say
Mm-hmm.
that. And I feel like I was a product of my environment, and I was not the street dude that it swallowed me whole per se at an early age. So like you say, addiction, selling the drugs, my whole view of life, my way of thinking, the way I was just getting up every day and basically chasing nothing
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. And what really opened my eyes, Lex, is I still got friends doing the same stuff, the
Yeah.
same thing. So when I go, it's me and my three sons. We go get a haircut. You know what I'm saying? We hop out the car. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, that have to open your eyes to, just to see that, like, the friends that I really grew up with, my conversation became different. When I started engaging with these dudes now, you know what I mean? We really just stopped having stuff in common, because man, I started wanting stuff in life. You know what I mean? My kids, I wanted my kids to be something. I wanted to be something for them. So, the conversation just was different with them, and seeing them still doing the same thing and not understanding that you chasing nothing in a sense. Not to say nothing, because everybody not the same, Lex, but everybody know what comes from that.
So this thing that I don't know if you want to talk about it, but it interests me a lot when you sent me when you told me a little bit, about the stuff we wanted to talk about. But I want to hear your perspective on the addiction part, right? Because I was addicted to 30 milligram Percocets all the way up until football. While I was out there with my son, I was still high. You know what I'm saying? And it's because I knew that I had to be out there in the right state of mind that I stopped fucking with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was just that simple. And motherfuckers asking me all the time, like they'll wake up and call me and like, man, Lex, what the did is that? You know what I mean? Where they at? And I don't know where they at. I don't fuck with them drinks no more. And they'll be like, what? How you doing so like that? You know what I'm saying? But in all reality, me getting that part of being a football mom and seeing my son out there excelling. You know what I'm saying? That just really helped me to just not want to do it. Like, cause I didn't want to be out there looking like a junkie. I didn't want to be going to my car every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes smoking a black and out. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to talk to you about because in my perception as a woman was that like I had to do it. So what is your perception as a man as far as just letting that shit go?
Let me say first, it's the bill of it. You know what I mean? Like the cost of getting high. You understand what I'm saying? So it's, you like really you with 4 kids, you really taking care of 4 kids, and you talking to a dude Lex that I literally went got physical custody of every kid with my last name. So, and I fought the court system 9 years to do that. You know what I mean? So it was just like, I understood that I could not maintain that habit and
Hmm.
take care of my kids. It was just one or the other.
One or the other.
But
um. So doing all that and raising your kids, how did you first get into being a coach? Like, what was the time that was like, all right, I want to go coach.
it, it's funny because I started with y'all, like, and the crazy stuff we went through, like the game we went to, and Fat Man Mom didn't let me get him, and my head was just all over the place, and I still had to be there for the ones that like AJ and them, the kids like you said that I still love to this day. But it was just like I started with y'all. Like my son was 5, and he was like, "Daddy, I don't wanna play flag." Damien and Wood actually gave me the opportunity to come over there 6 or under and help them coach, and I kind of took off from there. But I started at Battery Park under Coach Carr. You know, I don't know Coach Carr's whole name, but yeah, under Coach Carr and Coach T. And I want who I was, so I came to Getitlex because I was basically an understudy there. I shut up, I learned, and I basically was a sponge. Even to down to how to get the kids' attention, how to command them, how to we had that mind. We went to war.
I'm
We
trying
went to
to tell
war.
you, man, that was a great experience. Though I ain't gonna bullshit you. Nah, that was a wonderful experience. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it was good. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't have even stayed there. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have even had my kids a part of it. But um, so was that your outlet? Like, or how has it been for that to be your outlet and for you to move around like you have? I mean, I know a lot of people know you as Coach Tim, in all arenas. You know what I'm saying? So how has you coaching football transitioned to you coaching I mean, what is it, baseball?
Baseball.
And then moving around, you know what I'm saying? Moving around and being where you feel like you're supposed to be.
I don't know. Like you said, man, I got 3 boys. I refuse for them to sit around my house. I'm from that. I was raised with my grandma. Like you said, you getting out of here. You not sitting in this house. You not playing no game all day. You know what I mean? So it was more like I knew that by me being a better man, I absolutely was gonna be who they needed me to be. Because like I say, all my sons look at me as like Superman. They don't expect nothing less than Superman. You know what I mean? So I gotta be Superman, Lex.
So with your kids, if that's how your kids think, right? Just just I know it might be hard to do this, but hmm, what do you think? Um, I know what your intentions are, but what do you think your impressions of you or of you being the coach Tim? Do you think that what you set out to be to the kids, you succeed in it, like being the mentor, the role model? You think you succeed in that way?
I do, cause I got a lot of kids that I really do have my fingerprint on, and my motto always been school first, and I'm not I'm gonna pull up on you. You know what I mean? And if mom called me and tell me you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna pull up on you. So I ain't just a coach that's gonna be on the field, expect you to come on the field. I'm gonna expect you to be who I need you to be on and off the field. So not only do I have to be your coach, I have to be a mentor.
So I want you to speak to. I know. Listen, I ain't gonna hold none of our coaches. Like I swear to God, I know that I can tell when a coach is like, passionate about the kids and want them to excel. See, some people don't understand that some coaches are hard on kids because they are a man figure. They're holding that man figure to a high, to a high expectation as far as you. If you look at, I'm a coach, I'm a man. You looking at me as a man. I feel like I got to succeed in what my goal is, and my goal is to teach the kids something on and off the field. So I think sometimes the passion that some coaches relay on the kids, people don't understand it. So I want you to break that down as far as when you're passionate, you're emotional, and you don't want it to go like that, or you got a argument or this or that with somebody about what's going on in the field. I want you to just explain the passion behind it and why sometimes that has to occur when you really, really are into the kids and them being successful.
See that, and that's a gift and a curse, though, Lex. You know what I mean? Because some people look. Some people look at passion as aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Understand, especially when they don't understand the individual. You know what I mean? And or you don't understand the relationship with what's going on, like you said, or the kid and the coach, and you know what I mean. So some people can. It's like that's a thin line, but when you care, Lex. You can't hide it. You know what I mean? And I just gotta. Some kids you just fall in love with because, like you said, me coming from being that kid. You know what I mean? And I never had my dad, my mom show up at a youth game. Some games, I broke down crying, squeaking them. The guys in the organization I'm in right now, hug me, put their arms around me. We are your family. You know what I mean? And that's just how it's been for me ever since. You know what I mean? So for me to be that kid, I got to get that same feeling back. You know what I mean? And like I said, I love them, Lex, and then they ultimately run through that brick wall for you. So,
I know you love the kids. Like I ain't gonna hold that up or nothing. Like I know you love them 100%, and I know what it is about the passion. I know even more now because you kind of like broke it down to me. But I think just overall, the work and the effort that you put into doing what you're doing is like, you got to have some type of love for the kids to be doing it, and even to just go from being an understudy or whatever it was called to being a head coach. That's right there is like determination because it's like, all right, I got to get over this hurdle to get to where I really want to be at, and you made it
right.
there, and now you a head coach. So, but how many years? I know that was what, like 2006. I don't know. How many years have you?
I think it's like
I,
my first official year that I'm gonna really count. Like, I've been coaching for 5 years now. You know what I mean? 5 strong years to where I had a team and I was responsible for leading the team.
Mhm.
So
So
yeah,
now, so what do you do? Who is your team now, and what's going on for this year?
I'm with the IVA Justice. So it's still, city parks and recreation. But what we have done is basically combined the recreations in all areas. So, you got High Sketch, Cat Home, Pad Camp, Battery Park. We all one organization there. And then you got like Wookham Mosby, Creighton, and all those, the East End, all Powhatan, like they combined, and then we got two Southside teams that combined, and we're gonna compete in the AYF this year with everybody. So you
I
know,
think that was a dope move, though. I
yeah,
think it was. I think because um, I think the older the kids get, they can tell the separation, and I think it wasn't fair. I mean, not that it wasn't fair, but I think that all kids need exposure to all kids because everybody come from different lifestyles. Everybody come from different ways of thinking, ways of living. And I think to combine them all, regardless of what's going on the back end, I think that was a good move, and for them to be able to travel, to get out of what their normal routine.
and I said that, you know what I mean, and I kept repeating that with these city kids because basically we dealing with a whole lot of less fortunate kids. You know what I'm saying? And I used to always say, you know. every kid don't have 150 to play football. You understand what I'm saying? These little dudes barely going in the house, you know what I mean, eating packs of noodles and mayonnaise sandwich, whatever, you know what I mean? Like they might not even know what they parent at when we drop them off. They just know how to get in the house. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So for the just picture us taking that dude to Florida in December. You know what I mean? And you didn't have to pay us 150 to do it.
Right.
And so, and that's what it was about with these city kids to me. Like, let's create the same opportunity for them. You understand? You know what I mean? Get them something to work towards. You know what I mean? Winning the state, winning the regional. You know what I mean?
Something to
Instead
be proud of. Yeah, like
of
they
like,
need that.
you know what I mean? So, man, I commend the city for what they have done this year. And you know, I felt like it's gonna work. So, you know, and it don't matter what team go from the city, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have that shirt on and we rapping, you know what I mean? You know, like I said, these kids, they work just as hard as any other kids.
They
So
do, if not harder, because they know what they working toward.
right, just give them the same opportunity.
Hmm.
So that's why I say I commend the city for what they have done this year. And we working. You know what I mean? You know I'm gonna have my little mob rocking and rolling, you know what I mean? So
I'm excited. You know,
me
I'm
too.
there. I'm there for the sideline action. I'm there to be hollering. I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love that everybody get to coming together as a unit and just do some shit that's positive and um the kids get a chance to experience other kids that they don't know they ain't seen and the same age range. So I think that it's a dope move and this year will be one of the better years that anybody has had, to be honest with you.
But
Um
see, let me say, it's a lot of egos in this joint, and I got caught up into that too, Lex. Where, you know what I mean? Get, I got caught up into winning. You know what I'm saying? Like winning and getting kids so I can win. You know what I mean? Like right now, I got probably like 26, 27 kids. You know what I mean? Half of them ain't played football before. I take pride in I'm gonna have them kids, them babies ready to go to the next level. When they ready to go and lead me, they gonna be ready, and I'm gonna teach them football and develop every player on my team. Cause they say, oh, the MPI. I said, man, I ain't worried about no MPI. Everybody gonna be ready to go anyway. Hey, look, ain't nothing given, everything earned. Ain't no spot, you gonna work for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't showing no favoritism, no nothing. I got 27 dudes gonna work. I'm gonna put you the best for our football team, and it's gonna give us an opportunity to win. And if we don't win, make them dudes respect you when you giving them some love crossing that 50. Cause
yeah.
you know we here. You know what I'm saying?
But you remember the first game that our kids played? They they
Everybody,
cried. They cried. They cried. But the last game they played, they
everybody.
won the champ. Was it the states? What they won with the trophy?
We won the AYF championship. That was in the fall though. Remember in the spring, we had the team that was beating us that year. We ended that game 7-7, and
Yeah,
with 10 players. I say, man, y'all give me back this same mob, and we went and won the AYF
that's what
championship.
I'm saying. It was 90% of the same people,
Yeah,
and they came back with a whole different mentality because
man.
they learned something. They learned something, and they was like, all right, we was close, but now we gonna get up there. Who we beat? The Canes.
Yeah, we beat the
We
Canes.
beat the Canes. You know what I'm saying? They are awesome football team. They are awesome league,
Yeah,
whatever. But our boys came into it, a lot of them not knowing how to do nothing, and especially my son. But now,
yeah,
every football player, every position they play, he ready to work. You know what I'm saying? That came from his very first coaches, and I ain't gonna hold that up now to one bit, like at all. Um, but so where do you plan on doing this long term, forever?
yeah. Yeah, for real, Lex. If I can figure out, because I work in the Bisco, so if I can figure out how to, keep that my little 9 to 5 and get this my nonprofit organization up and running, and long as I can be any type of help to the village, because I always say it take a village to raise these kids,
Yeah.
and I always say to myself, I am that village. So if I can't stop because I am the village. You know what I
Right.
mean? And how I look at it. So if you gonna say it's forever, yeah, I think I'm gonna be in here this a pretty long time.
So speaking of nonprofit, your organization, let's talk about it. I want you to tell me what exactly um is your organization? What's the name? What's the purpose?
Um, I called it Another Way Out. I started with Another Way Out because it was just a example of you don't have to play sports, you don't have to sell drugs to be a successful young black man. Because I always try to ask myself, like, what's the culture? You know what I'm saying? They shoes, money, cars, clothes, girls. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they put in front of our baby's face. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, kids try to get it right now. They don't understand, you know what I'm saying? Sitting down and everything is a process. Everything in life is a process. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing that you can go do and then you're gonna have everything that you desire and want right now. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is strategic. You gotta sit down, like you say, set goals, plan things out, and stick to your process. You know what I mean? And not keep being frustrated where you at right now in life, because everybody focus on what you ain't got right now, what you ain't got, and I'm a victim of that too. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Continue to focus on the things that you don't have, you know what I
Mm.
mean, instead of continue to just be honest to your process. But yeah, that's why I called it Another Way Out. But I set out to really help young black boys. And as I continue to talk to people about the program, it was like, what about women, Tim? Women go through just as much as what I mean, men do. You know what I mean? Sometimes more, because I always say women are stronger than men. Y'all was just meant to be stronger than us. But so now, I really would like to help boys and girls, but just create, a nonprofit organization, give them something, a good, strong foundation, environment where they feel safe to come into, and I can teach them how to do things like fill out a job application, resume, ins and outs, credit, you know what I mean, programs to buy your house. I want to have this nonprofit really to introduce our babies to the resources that's out here. Because there's so many things out here to help these babies that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And, basically want to sit them down and teach them everything that I wish somebody would have sat down and taught me. But don't get it twisted. Like, I'm still learning myself. So don't think that, when we create these programs to help these kids with their finance and budgeting, that I ain't gonna be sitting down with my pen and paper too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just all about enrichment and betterment of the community and the high to north side. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in get from court, you know what I mean? Just get some of these babies that age out these programs, after 14, 15, they sitting in the house playing the game, they ain't got nothing else to do, and we know how the environment is. So if I can give them something to look forward to come to, and still be amongst your peers, and you learning, and you know what I mean, you just around positivity, you know what I mean, just a positive whole environment, and change their way of thinking, their whole mindset. So that's my goal for real, you know what I mean, just you know create something that's gonna help our babies be a better them, in a sense.
So with that plan, that creation, what is the game plan? What's the step by step process that you're looking to do at this moment?
So I think I'm lucky because I'm unfortunately I got Jermaine O'Neal that have been a great mentor to me. I mean, like you say, Lex, I don't know where I'd be without this dude. So, he's really been, just even to advice what to do, how to do it, and putting together the ultimate plan to get the building. We got the nonprofit organization that's called the Men of Barton Heights Youth Organization. So we already got the nonprofit organization set up. You know what I mean? But it's just about putting it in the right hands of the right people. You know what I mean? And hopefully they see the vision and understand the change that this program would really give our community.
So the process moving forward, um, how do you plan on getting it up and running? Like what you said, you just said about a nonprofit that's already established, but how is incorporating this what you're doing now into the actual physical place?
Right. So the main thing right now is to get the building. So I got Jermaine O'Neal. He's working on getting me a building. I have started me a GoFundMe, which I actually got the link to, just for $1, anything to help. You know what I mean? So if I start the building, I'll go in there with some chairs and teach some kids Lex. You know what I mean? I really don't, as the funding come, I would better the program. But I, like I said, even if I start a support group where, like I said, you give me a building and some chairs, and I create an environment where these young babies can come and feel safe about talking about addiction now and what they going through at home. You know what I mean? So I just want. I'm really trying to get a building right now. So we really can put our feet to pavement and start doing what we need to do. I don't know what happened to Lex.